So Simon,
What made me?
what made you decide to make a vampire film, Blood and Roses?
Blood and Roses. Well, what it is for the last year I've been trying to get a feature film together, and the first one was a script called The Refuge, and that one was about a man on the run, and he finds this house with these three women, and because the place of refuge is more dangerous to him than what he was running away from. Unfortunately, the budget for that absolutely spiraled out of control. We came up with another script with campers in the woods, but I didn't like it, and again it cost a lot of money, and I was just desperate to sort of make a feature film. So a friend of mine called Ashvin had always had an idea about doing a vampire film, so he said I could have the idea. And his original idea was a husband and wife, and the husband had cancer. And the idea is the vampire turns up and says, look, I can cure him, but it means me turning him into a vampire. And we actually did write a couple of treatments with that in mind. But it was actually Ashvin who sort of turned around and said, actually, this is bollocks. It doesn't work. So he came up with the idea of maybe husband and wife with marriage problems, and a vampire coming onto the scene and sort of taking a liking to the wife. So I passed that idea on to my scriptwriter, a guy called Ben Woodywis.
You said you was desperate to make a feature film. Why?
Well, for the past year, that's sort of been my goal. I've been making short films now for 9 years, and I've not really got anywhere with them. And I want to take that next step up. I want to sort of go full-time directing. And the only way to sort of do it is make features. You're taken a bit more seriously if you make a feature film.
So have you had a lot of input on the writing?
Well, I'd sit down with Ben, and we'd go through some of the stuff I didn't like or changes. And the last draft I actually went through and I just sort of changed a few things, changed lines here and there. But mostly plot-wise and stuff is Ben.
So after the past 3 days, what would you say has been the hardest part of directing up to this point?
The hardest part, I think it's just. I think the hardest part is you come here with an idea of what you want to do, and then suddenly you're faced with the reality of the fact that you just don't have much time to shoot stuff, or what you wanted to do is not that great when you're sort of doing it. So you have to. I think any director who doesn't have the time and the money is sort of the compromises you have to make. But the thing is, you've got to get it done. You know, we got 3 weeks to shoot this, and you got to get it done. So you just have to go with it, and you just gotta get it done. You got to get those scenes in the can. It just means sacrificing stuff.
And how do you find your crew so far?
Useless, no. No. Very good. Excellent. Brilliant. Wonderful. Funny, you can't answer that question when you've got the crew standing around you.
If there was something the crew could do to make things easier for you, what would that be?
I mean, there's nobody here who's going, well, why are you doing that? Or, I think the worst question anybody can ask a director about a film is why. Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? Why do you want that? Why should they have fangs? Why should it, I think that's the question that sort of goes, it's an awful question, because it's like, because you have to sit there and explain it all when you just want to get on and do it.
And where do you see Blood and Roses going? What's your exit strategy for Blood and Roses?
My exit strategy? Well, I want it, biggest thing ever, #1 in the box office all over the world. Well, I just like to, get it out there and get people to see it. Even if it was to go straight to DVD, I'd be quite happy. It's like, the budget isn't, we're doing a lot with a very small budget compared to other films. So, I think I'll make, get the money back and stuff. And hopefully, it'll get seen, it'll get out there.
And in the film, who would you say your favourite character is?
They're all my favourite characters. I don't have any favourites.
But is there one that sort of appeals to you more, sort of cinematically?
Well, I think the vampire is probably... The character of Seth is one that probably appeals to me more. Character of the loner, person who's untouched by time and normal human laws. He can do literally anything he wants, apart from walk in daylight and go near garlic and be careful of wooden stakes.
Okay. And scene-wise, is there a particular scene you're looking forward to shooting?
Actually, you should probably ask me which scene am I dreading to shoot. What's the scene I'm dreading to shoot? Well, the dinner scene, the finale of the film is the one, because that's where a lot of things can go wrong. That's we're looking at 2 or running over to a third night, just sort of trying to get all that done. So I'm not, it's one of those scenes where it's like, once we've done it, I'll be like.
So you're not looking forward to that scene?
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also dreading it. It's kind of like it's the big scene. It's the scene that the film will probably live or die by. And if we don't do it right, it's it could be a laughing stock, or and technically there's so many things that could go wrong. There's a lot of blood effects but I think it was a very good idea to leave that to the last week, so that everybody's sort of working together and they know what they're doing, and we're more in the groove by then.
Anything else you'd like to?
Anything I'd like to say?
Yeah.
Yes, come and see my movie.